Hi, Andrew McNair here to continue our series on investing. Investing is putting your money to work so it can multiply, which sounds great on the surface, but I'm not the first to tell you that the problem with investing is that it's risky. You could lose everything. Solomon, the wisest man who ever lived, said there is another serious problem I've seen under the sun. Hoarding riches harms the saver. Money is put into risky investments that turn sour and everything is lost. And in the end, there is nothing left to pass on to one's children. Solomon knew that if you just save your money, it isn't really multiplying. But he also knew the reality that you have to risk in order to profit, that there is a relationship between risk and reward. All investments have pros and cons. And how do you evaluate an investment to minimize risk? Today, we're going to cover one of my favorite subjects, what I call PLR, protection, liquidity, and return. This is the litmus test you need to ask every time you go about investing. First is the P for protection. This means how protected is my money from loss? Can I lose my money? Is it guaranteed? Is it safe? Is the principal guaranteed? Many of my clients have noticed that I'm not as worried about return on their money as I am the return of their principal. Investors who prioritize safety and protection understand the value of a dollar. You've spent so much time working and budgeting to save for retirement or whatever financial goals you may have, so that the last thing you want to do is feel like you're going backwards. Analyzing the riskiness of investments is a crucial factor to consider when investing. Even Warren Buffett famously said that the first rule of investing is to never lose money. And the second is like it, don't ever lose money. It takes a lot of effort to dig yourself into a hole, but it takes even more work to get yourself back where you started. And one financial commentator like David Bach is right when he said there's no investment that's worth a good night's sleep. It's better for your investments to be boring. On the flip side, safety and protection will cost you if you play it too safe. You take certain risks by being too conservative. In the financial world, it's called purchasing power risk, which is where things become more expensive over time. So if our investments don't keep up, we will be losing ground. Now, historically, inflation has averaged 3 to 4% per year. So be cautious that your fear of risk may be causing you and your savings to depreciate in the long run. Next is L for liquidity. This means how accessible is my money? Can I get to my money very quickly? Is it accessible anytime I want to it? Is it available 24/7? If I need to convert my investments to cash in a hurry, how difficult is that? That's what liquidity is. What is the time commitment on my investment? Always remember that liquidity either makes you money or loses your money. Liquidity is essential because you need to have access to your money. Maybe you're waiting for your dream home to come up on the market so that you can make an offer. You want to take that long-awaited cruise you've been planning for years. Liquidity is an important factor because when your money's liquid, you can enjoy it and also quickly move to take advantage of opportunities that others cannot. Now, on the other hand, liquidity can cost you if you have too much of it. Numerous families have more than enough for their immediate needs in their rainy day fund, their emergency fund, but then they have an extra amount in a CD or money market in the bank. And instead of letting it sit there and depreciate, they would do well to invest that extra so it can grow faster than inflation. Too much liquidity can also cost you a better return. The 1 to 2% return that you're getting on a money market just won't keep up with inflation and cause you to lose money in the long run. So I encourage you to invest the extra so it can multiply. This is what we call the Job exercise, not the job exercise, coming up with what's the worst case scenario that you need of liquidity. Finally, the last concept we're going to look at is everyone's favorite, rate of return. This means what kind of profit can I easily expect? The rate of return is the expectation of the percentage of appreciation or income on a yearly basis that you can expect from the exchange of your money for the investment. At first glance, it's enticing to want a great rate of return. We all dream of making it big with a certain stock or lucrative real estate investment that goes 10 times its amount. It's widely accepted, though, that the stock market and real estate markets have outperformed inflation in other asset classes over a long time because they can raise prices. The rate of return is synonymous with investing because of the power of compound interest. It's the only way I know to coast uphill. Once the magic of compounding is really working, your money will eventually be earning more money while you sleep than while you are awake. That's the power of compound interest. This is financial independence, and it can only be achieved by the rate of return on your investments. Now, on the other hand, countless of investors have been lured into by this singing siren of greed. Retirees, for example, have made the mistake of taking on more risk to try to catch up, but then they take 3 steps back when the market's correct. Find a financial advisor who refuses to sugarcoat historical returns and will show you how those portfolios and investments did in 2001 and 2008. When deciding on an investment, don't fool yourself. Don't let anyone fool you. Never sugarcoat the forecast of an investment, and don't assume you'll make the same forecast. These are 3 different levers that when you have more protection, you're giving up something in return. Today, we've gone over the 3 major factors you need to consider before making an investment. When you're putting your money to work so it can multiply, always keep these letters in mind. PLR, protection, liquidity, and return. There is a caveat to these 3 factors, though. No investment has all 3. There's no such thing that has a perfect investment that has protection, liquidity, return at one time. At best, you will have 2 of the 3. The key to investing is to make sure that you diversify so that you benefit from protection, liquidity, and return. In our next video, we'll cover the 4 different types of investments from this lens and look at PLR on each of them. So don't forget to tune in. At the end of the day, it wasn't wealth that changed my life. It was generosity. And you can learn more about my story from greedy to generous by checking out the book, The Giving Crisis, by clicking richyoungpowerful.com/book. That's richyoungpowerful.com/book to pick up a copy and get all of your bonuses. Also, be sure to check out my podcast, Rich, Young, and Powerful, on iTunes, Spotify, and other podcast platforms so that you can hear about other philanthropists and their journey. Until next time, remember to invest your life into something that will outlive it. Now that's living to give.